Now. Ah! Oh, jeez. Okay, let me know. Someone say a comment if you're here so that I know that I'm not just talking to myself, because that's always very awkward. And then I'll do my little preamble. But until then, I'm going to very, very stubbornly just sit here and scowl. Anyone coming in right now will be really awkward. Oh wait, no, we exited host mode, so maybe the stream is actually starting now. Okay. Either way, I'm going to scowl until someone says something. Yeah? First person to say something gets smiley Cav. It's going to be so awkward. Like, why is Cav just standing there scowling? Oh, hey there, Apostropadamus. What are we baking today? Well, children, I'm happy to say that I'm going to be baking. Okay, wow, why did my mother bent the page backwards? No, you don't do that. Oh my god. Okay, so this is an ancient cake book from the 80s and 90s. I don't know what that glare is in the oh wait, it's because my phone's broken. But yes, we're going to be attempting to make a version of this cake, which is a Locomotive from the Cursed Cake book. And I say that it's cursed because, well, for one thing, this one is falling apart. But like, this is their version of a gingerbread cake. So it's a cake book that I'm planning, like I've already written most of a video about, because it is a very, very unique cake book in Australian cooking history. But anyway, because it's the middle of a pandemic, hey there Tarvinlo, because it's the middle of a pandemic, there was not enough cake mix. It's like the end days, as you know. So although this is what we're supposed to be making, hey there JButterfly01, welcome, welcome. Although this is what we're supposed to be making, it's probably going to end up just looking like that in terms of the amount of cake that we have. Let me just show you here. That is the cooked cake, which is going to be the base. We're also going to use a chocolate sponge roll cake, which is probably gross. I hate sponge cake. But anyway, that's how you're meant to make the cake. Hey there, Robucker. Thank you for subscribing. 13 months. And yes, I'm streaming while you're awake. I'm very pleased to say. And also from next week, I'm going to start streaming in European evening again, because it's going to be daylight savings, which is going to make it more tenable for me to actually do evening streams. So look forward to being able to look at different streams by me in the near future. So anyway, like I say, we're going to be making a version of this sad cake. I have already baked the base cake, so this is going to be largely a cake decorating stream. Having said that, this is a complicated cake that I have never made before in my life. It was made for my dad for his birthday I think for the research I did for this cake book video, I think we've made it 2 or 3 times. Well, my mother has made it 2 or 3 times for my dad because he's a train nut. And it is his birthday today, so I'm making a train cake again because surely that'll never get old. And I'm also trying to cut some wire here because this cake, in order to make this cake, you need some wire, as it turns out. Hey there, Blaine Clutch. How's it going? Okay, so I'm trying to, let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm attempting to cut this wire, which, because you're meant to use pipe cleaners, but they didn't have any pipe cleaners in the shop because, as I say, it's end days. I was actually searching with a shopkeeper for about 15 minutes for pipe cleaners and or pipe cleaner alternatives, and there was nothing in the shop and I couldn't be bothered going to other shops. Plus, another reason I took so long was because I lost my credit card. It was found, but I did have to not pick up some of the... oh, I think I got it! Yay! This is probably way too big, but we can always cut it down even more using my finesse at cutting wires. Are there any sausages in this recipe? Sorry for not being to a stream in a while. Time zones. No problem. No one ever need apologize for not attending a stream. You're attempting to make bacon and eggs. Nice. I like bacon and eggs. Hey there, Ollie. Thing is, I don't really eat bacon and eggs much anymore because I don't really eat meat anymore. I miss it though. Bacon and eggs is delicious. All right, so now that I say that I'm making this cake, it's time for me to admit that I have not looked at how to make it. So this will be an experience for all of us. I don't know how many of you here were present for previous baking streams. Were many of you around? Previously, we've baked a chocolate ripple cake for my birthday, which is an Australian cake recipe made with pretty much just cookies and cream. And we've also made an elephant cake, which is from the same cake book. It was horrific. Let me find it. Oh, the cake book's falling apart. This is the cake book of my childhood. I'm so sad. Where's the elephant cake? Oh, jeez. Repressed memories of some of the... like this cake book used to give me nightmares because it had like these monsters. Like, these aren't particularly scary, but the fact that they're so weird looking really creeped me out. Hey there, Dead Viney. Probably missed a few of you, but hello. Hello to all of you. No discrimination in my greetings. I have just dropped a piece of the cake book on the ground. There we go. Oh, jeez, and my mother bent it backwards. She should have more respect. Oh God, how does this book bend? Oh, here we go. All right, so I'm bending it, and oh, jeez, where's the cover gone? Oh, there. Oh. Oh, sorry. Let me just open the cake book so that it's not falling apart. The book falls apart like cake. Yes. Okay, so we'll open it up to the train cake, which is like right at the end, and I will put it on a little stand without it falling apart. Okay, now I see why my mother bent it backwards, because it was just not possible. All right. Okay, love the Twitch chat mind meld. Oh, before I start making the cake, I want to present something to you. Something else that I bought at the shop is preparation for my, I forgot. Oh, for my Halloween stream that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a 12-hour Nerpathon, as I call it, where I stream for 12 hours in a row, right? And just stream scary games and things. And this is notable for the fact that I'm scared of everything. So scary games is like adding an extra level to that sort of thing. But anyway, oh sorry, this must be really loud for you. But as part of donation incentives, one of the donation incentives is that I will wear something for like a few minutes. And in the supermarket, I found these really silly, like these are for children. These aren't for adults. It's even got a tail. I'm not going to be wearing that tail. I just putting that out there. Unless I could make it part of my hair or something. But yeah, the little headband and the bow tie there. And also a little Sean here, also for children. Like, I don't understand what this is, you know, like what is the entertainment value here? I don't get it. But I figure, you know, the more humiliating, the better. This is apparently meant to be nostrils. I thought it was the mouth at first, but that's the nose, and this is meant to be a big smile. So like, this is going to be me, possibly. What else have we got? Oh, of course, we've got a lovely unicorn horn here. Because, oh, it's got a little bit of a flaccid top there. I'll have to sort that out before the stream. Flaccid's probably not the best word to use for that. And best of all, because the mouth guard was so popular, well, I thought it was fun anyway. For my Twitch Sings charity stream, I'm bringing some monster teeth into it. So yeah, these are just like very, very cheap things. And for that reason, I thought they were funny and worth buying because they're not very good quality. Anyway, that's something to look forward to for the old Nerpathon happening at the end of the month with a number of special guests, which I'm very excited about. I'm gonna give like official details of it at some point soon, but For now, it's caking time. Let's caking. All right, I think the first step is making the icing. I made the icing from scratch, I think the previous time, but because I made the icing from scratch, but the cake was from a packet mix, because this caking book is meant to be accessible for like working class people. It's kind of like, just use a packet cake. And if you want, you can make your own, but like, just get a packet cake, it's fine. I quite like that, honestly. But anyway, we've got a bunch of leftover icing mix from previous cakes, and I feel a little bit bad just constantly, you know, it ends up being more wasteful to, you know, not use the packet mix. So I'm going to be doing that. Lots of packet mix, and I mean for the icing. Oh, whoops, I was meant to get butter softened to room temperature for this, wasn't I? What I can do is I can get the butter ready, maybe put it in the microwave? Probably not. Oh, the stream was buffering for you because Epic was doing a download? Dang. Okay, so I need to get 120, let's have a look at the recipe on this thing for icing. It's just, is this coming backwards for you? Is this backwards or can you see it? Car Soccer is free on Epic? Nice. So 125 grams of butter times 2, which means 250. I know how to maths. And we need 1 tablespoon times 2 tablespoons of milk. It's not backwards? Okay, that's good. All right, so I'll be back in a sec. I'm just gonna grab some butter so I can like slice it up into meaningful portions and some milk. In the meantime, I don't have access to my little be right back thing, so you're just gonna have to awkwardly watch me walk over to the fridge. That's gonna be fun. All right, so time to see me awkwardly walking over to the fridge. 125. Oh, this is the whole thing. Nice. As it turns out, 125 grams times 2 is 250, which is exactly the size of this organic salted butter made with certified organic fresh milk. My mother's really big on organic produce, which personally I think doesn't really have much of a meaning in the Australian context. Like in the US context, definitely. I don't know, are any of you here in the States? I'll grab a knife. Oh wait, the knife's down here. But what I've noticed in the States is that organic actually means something there, because like your regular produce is shit. Not because organic has some special status there, it's just that because there doesn't seem to be any sort of like standards, I guess, any kind of universal standard for you know, what does organic even mean? So there's a lot of it which is just kind of a bit dodgy, and even elitist in how people approach organic materials. But like in the US, I found that, at least for me, in the Californian context anyway, I guess the US is pretty big, so I shouldn't be generalizing. But where my family, well, some of my family lives in California, it was just like if you didn't get organic stuff, you were eating garbage. Like most of it wasn't even real. Anyway, I'll grab a plate so I can put this organic butter in. Organic is still a pretty posh thing. Yeah, like I feel like there's elements of it which are not. Wait, oops, I've got this the wrong way round. Which are not necessary. So I'm going to be putting the camera a little bit upside down for. Oh, this is frightening. Oh, no. Ah! Okay, sorry. Cav P is. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no. This is fine. Why is everything that I do frantic? Okay, let's move this like that, so that I can actually. Wait, there we go. There we go. All right. Supposed to be no pesticides, but there's some work around pesticides. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm from a farm town and there's really no appreciable difference between organic produce and normal produce. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of it is very arbitrary, which I think is really disappointing because, I mean, it's great to be conscious about what you're eating, but, like, there's a point to which, in my opinion, it just gets a little bit, like, about being better than poor people, you know? And this is me speaking as a middle-class person. So, you know, I'm limited in what I can really speak from experience, you know? So we're just chopping the butter up in little slices, because although we're going to use the whole thing, we want it to get to room temperature. And it's going to get to room temperature quicker when it's all sliced up into little places. This is science, y'all. Ah! Oh, jeez, I'm so sorry. This is going well. Cooking shows are too overproduced. This is how it should be, the reality of cooking. I don't know. I don't think that everyone's kitchen is quite this chaotic. At least not when my mother cooks. My mother's a very, very good cook, and I am my mother's child, but I have not inherited her talent with these sorts of things. So anyway, I'm going to leave this butter here for a little bit I'm going to wash my hands away from this sink so it doesn't deafen me. Hold on. Her, look at me, old butterfingers. Okay, so now it's time for some organic milk. So I need 2 tablespoons of this ready. Like, the way I cook, you might have noticed, is I tend to want... Am I upside down? No, I'm not. Okay, that's good. I tend to want to just have everything there ready so that way I can just, like, put things in. By the way, you know, this is an indication of... Wait, where's the camera? It's over there. This is an indication of how much I care about my father, because I have a class in about an hour, and I'm going to skip that class to make this cake. So, if any of you know about me and my approach to study, you know that that's a huge sacrifice for me, the gigantic language nerd. All right, I'll grab a tablespoon and be back. Oh, this looks nice. I don't know if you know, like, are these common in Western kitchens? Because it's like these are pretty much a staple, as I understand it, of like South Asian households, because this is where you put like curries. Like dal, like liquid sorts of liquid based things, or like, you know, like liquidy curries and things like that. I think I've only really seen them in Indian restaurants. Yeah, I thought so. It seems a very, very South Asian thing. But they're very useful, as it turns out. Like, because sometimes you need a bowl, but you just need a small bowl. You don't need anything that's big and ostentatious, and it looks better when it's in a wee little thing like that. I still have butterfingers, so I'm probably going to drop this milk everywhere. But... Oh, wait, you should be looking. Ugh, oh, God. Jesus Christ. Okay. There we go. Okay, back to the actual cooking. I don't want you just looking at my lovely face. I want you to look at me struggling to not spill this milk everywhere. Did I really want that, though? I don't know. Okay, hold on. Now this is the real hero of anyone's kitchen, the paper towel. Because it means you don't have to wipe the bench for a little while, even though there's probably some kind of residue on there. Let's just not think about that, yeah? All right, so back to me as I try to contemplate what I'm going to do next. Hey there, DXVIET4. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we got our milk here for the icing, and we've got our butter here for the icing, which neither of which you can see because I'm too scared to tip it forward in case it all falls out. Oh no, I'm not doing it for the milk. Okay, so Jesus, what's wrong with me today? I think I'm just like really highly strung because of the credit card thing that happened earlier. I lost my no, don't power off. Don't power off. Jeez. Yeah, I'm I'm a little bit on edge because of the incident with my credit card almost being lost for reasons of my own foolishness. Oh, why is it really why is my face dark? I need to keep it over here, but that's silly. How can I wait, did I just get a sorry, my phone is vibrating. I'm gonna turn the vibrate off. All right. Okay. Sorry, at the same time I'm also trying to coordinate a Chinese oral presentation. I have to do it as part of a group, so there are lots of messages going back and forth, which I had forgotten to take into account. All right, so before we make the icing, because I wanna let the butter just. Hey there, Liam, how's it going? I have my own bickies to munch on in celebration of another cooking stream and erasing the debate from my brain. Yeah, I didn't even know. Like, I messaged. I can't remember why I messaged Sean. I messaged Sean, Mean Sean, for some reason, and then he was like, "Can't talk." No, something about how. I can't remember what he said, but he was basically saying he was watching what. No, he was debating now. And I was thinking, I just assumed it meant that he was just making fun of people on Twitter, you know? Because that's what he normally does. And so I didn't think much of it. So I was like, hey, let's do a call or something and catch up. And then he said, no, I'm watching the debate. And what? There's a debate on? What debate was it? Actually, no, let's not. Maybe let's not talk about it here. And I'll just figure it out later. Oh, the cake is still warm. I want to eat it now. Maybe I will have a little bit. Okay. How am I going to do this? Maybe I need to put this upside down again. Yeah, I think I do. Hold on. There's going to be a lot of this. Oh, it's so loud. I'm so sorry, everyone. So horrible of me. Wait. No, I don't want a timeout, Tarbin Low. What the hell? Debate free zone. Okay. All right. Hey there, Tarnished Tiara. How's it going? Okay, so here we go. This is going to be a better... Oh, God, it's so frantic. I really do apologize that this is sort of the only way I seem to be able to stream, like just with lots of chaos. I'm going to eat a bit of this. Yeah, I was talking about the election debate, as it turns out, and I agree. Let's not talk about it here. So, it says, make cakes according to direction... on packet. Divide mixture evenly between 4. Okay, let's keep reading. Divide mixture evenly between 4 greased cake tins. Bake in moderate oven. I guess I could cut this in half and it'll be like 2. Because like I say, we are just having like a locomotive pretty much, I think. Gone into mod mode just in case Cap times someone out again by accident. I'm so sorry. Did I time you out, Darmiller? Oh, jeez. You've been figuring out stats all day? Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Turn cakes onto wire rack to cool. Yes. Cut bar cakes in half. Well, we want to... first up, we want to cut this in half, so that way we've got 2 bar cakes. Maybe that means we'll end up with a locomotive and one little trolley thing, which would be exciting. Oh God, oh, it smells so good, everyone. I wish you could smell what I smell. Cut bar cakes in half vertically, what does that mean? Vertically, it seems to mean you cut them in half like, what? Okay, so looking at this thing here, what they're after, when it says vertically, I guess it means just in half. Like, what the hell? What does it mean? Cut it out. Does Gillyweed like cake? Oh, I've never made her a cake. I bet she would hate the making of it because it'd be too loud. She'd get all flustered. So by cutting that vertically, I'm guessing we cut it like down like that, yeah? But why? What's the point? Okay, let me keep reading rather than, you know, following the instruction and then potentially, you know, leading to disaster. So, cut bar cakes in half vertically to give 8 equal pieces. Like, this doesn't apply to me because we've only got one bloody cake. Wait. 8 equal pieces. Reserve 5 of these to make tops of the 4 carriages and back of the engine. Cut remaining 3 pieces in half horizontally to give 6 equal pieces. Reserve in half vertically to make, oh jeez, what does it mean? Oh, it's your birthday today! Hey, happy 24th birthday, DXV. Let me show you my face so you're not just looking at the cake. Happy, Jesus Christ. Happy 24th birthday, DXVIE at ET4. I hope you have a cake in store for you, or you can just, you know, live vicariously through this cake. I don't like that my camera is wobbling. I'm sorry if that gives you, you know, vertigo. I still don't understand what it means by cut these cakes vertically. Cut the cake in half vertically. Oh, okay, so like this. So they're kind of like squares, right? 8 equal pieces. Reserve 5 of these to make tops of the 4 things and cut remaining 3 pieces in half horizontally. Wait. Yeah, because it looks from this picture, and please verify this with me because I'm nervous now. It looks like we're cutting them like that. Right? We're cutting the cake like that, and then we're gonna slice maybe one of these. Ooh! Why are so many of Cav's viewers' birthdays so close together? Because it was my birthday 2 days ago. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm gonna make a call here. I can always stick it together later. I don't think I really understand these instructions, which is probably not a good thing to go by. Cut in half vertically means, wait, why am I cutting with the butter knife? Where's my actual, here we go. Cut in half vertically. It means we have squares, which is not what these ones look like. But that's okay because we were going from a square base, and so like this cake is going to turn out differently regardless. Just cutting through this cake like it's a gluten-free cake, because gluten-free cakes, for some reason, they seem a lot more moist than non-gluten-free cakes. So, reserve. So if we've got 4 pieces here instead of 8, and it says reserve 5 of these to make tops of the 4 carriages, then what we want is we want 3. Wait. Oh God, fractions. Oh, this is all maths. I hate it. Okay. So we have 8 pieces. So 5 out of 8, right? We need some maths people here. 5 out of 8 is like kind of 2/3. So if we have like half that amount, it'd be 2.5. Wait, what? What am I saying? Okay. Yeah. So we've got 4 equal pieces instead of 8 equal pieces. So if we're going to reserve 5 of these, then we need to reserve 2.5, which doesn't work. Oh no! What am I doing? I could have gotten another, another thing of cake, but this is going to be a very on-train-like train. I hope my dad's okay with that. He's probably made peace with it already. He's seen my previous attempts. Okay, thank you everyone for doing the maths. Can you do one less well, my plan was just to do the locomotive, right? But now I'm thinking I want to do a locomotive and 1 carriage. So I probably didn't even need to cut that. Okay, so reserve 5 of these to make the tops of the carriages. And then, okay, so the tops of the carriages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 of these and 1 of these. Okay, I think I get it. Alright, so we might actually just end up with some extra cake, which is alright, unless... Because, like, that's not going to be good. It's going to be a really chunky train. I'm going to need to cut this in half again, I think. I think because we used a square base rather than a rectangular base, this isn't going to be good enough. I'm going to do a little bit of improvising, and this could very well ruin the cake, but it could also save it. And again, I can always just like stick it together with icing. So now this is a little bit more like what we want. We've got like a train carriage at the bottom, and then we've got like a, sorry, you can't see what this looks like. It's gonna be so pathetically small. Yeah, I shouldn't have cut it in half the first time. I shouldn't have made squares. What I'm gonna do is, now we need to, okay, so this is now a cake salvaging stream. Welcome to my cake salvaging stream, whereby we try to salvage what we have done to this cake. All right. And the reason why we need to do this is because what we need is we need like a long carriage, and we need something that goes up behind it. And we do 2 trains. Like, they'd either be really small or yeah, I'll have to stick these 2 together, I think. Let me get these back again. So these are gonna have to be stuck together somehow. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring over, I feel like a cake doctor. This is awesome. Okay. Oh, they've got like, they've got popsicle sticks. We don't have popsicle sticks, do we? You know what? I'll just make the whole train track using licorice. So I've got some licorice here. Why don't we make the base of the train first, of the train tracks, and then we'll... Oh geez, this is really loud. I really can't apologize enough. That's awful. Oh! And also I'm knocking down the thing. Okay, who likes licorice here? This is a big train. Cake Doctor does seem like a good cooking show. I'd be the perfect cake doctor because I tend to ruin things. Call it a special talent of mine. Have you ever had, William, have you ever had Swedish licorice? God, the licorice fudge they have up there is amazing. This is 2 meters of licorice. And I think I'm gonna need to like put it in half. haven't had licorice in a long time, not since I was in Scandinavia. Your Swedish mother is ashamed of you. I bet. And they like their licorice to be really, well, Denmark anyway. They have that Turkish, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. You know that really horrible Turkish pepper stuff? Is that big in with Swedish culture as well? I think it is. At least I remember being able to get it when I was in Sweden. So I'd probably be a lot more efficient with this if I just cut it as opposed to ripping it. But, you know, we like to give it the, you know, the homegrown, you know, like the rugged home cooking sort of thing. This could be a longer stream than I anticipated, given the fact that we have to salvage so much. I probably, like, my mother made the cake while I was in class this morning. I probably should have mentioned that it should be a rectangular tin and not a square tin. I think that would have saved a lot of this. But that's okay. That's okay. I like the challenge. I'm nothing if not a problem solver. At least the problem will be resolved somehow. I hope this makes the stream more exciting for you and not like, oh god, Cav's already fucked up this stream. Ugh. Because I'm happy with this. I've made peace. Okay, so I'm putting down a little train track here. Let me move this down like that so you can see. Ah! God, I did it again! I'm so sorry. Happy little accidents, you say, just before... Ugh. Just before I just rupture your eardrums. I'm so sorry. I think I'm really on edge because of that, that credit card incident that happened a little bit earlier today. So I apologize for that. Again, you know, I did an anxiety stream recently. This is how anxiety works. This is anxiety. Da 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 da. Oh, how embarrassing. All right, so I'm gonna make the whole train track with licorice rather than with popsicle sticks because I don't want to annoy my parents asking for a bunch of stuff. So I'll just like put a few things across. My credit card is okay, yes. All right, so I am gonna slice these ones, I think. Just to make sure that they're sort of a relatively consistent... Oh, that's loud too. Oh, and that's butter, gross. I'll just make a bunch of these. And use hopefully a different part of the knife this time so we don't get butter on it. Ugh. Yuck, butter and licorice? Ugh! Should have washed the knife. Making this track first, I think, is a good idea. I think it's a good idea because I choose for it to be a good idea. That is the correct side of the knife, yes. ASMR! Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't apologize enough. Like, this is not professional streaming if I am rupturing my audience's eardrums. That's very unfortunate. Okay, so they're not going to look even right now. I'm going to fix them up later. So... yeah, that'll do. Oh, that's an ugly one. Okay, no, we're going to cut that off and I'm going to eat that. All right. It's a different length to all the other ones, but that's okay. This cake is a pandemic cake, as I say. We didn't have all the right ingredients. So it's going to be a cake of compromise. Yes, the ugly ones get eaten. Okay, so I've got the little train track there. Now, I mean, I should give a disclaimer. This is meant to be one of the most difficult cakes to make in the cake book. I'm starting to see why. Doesn't seem possible to compromise. Okay, I think it will end up just being a locomotive. So like this. Wait, this is way too big. Alright, I'll have to cut it down a little bit to make it look a little bit less garbage. But, okay, so I've got a way to fix this, everyone. You'll be pleased to know. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut this down like this. Oh, yum, a bit of cake fell down. So, how about, whoa! That's way too big. Yeah, I'll cut this a little bit down for size. Yeah, so I'll cut this down like a half to be a little bit less weird. Or actually, maybe it needs to be like that because we're gonna have a roll cake. Yeah, there'll be a roll cake that'll go over there. Maybe I'll just design the cake first. That seems like the best course of action. Oh, sorry, you couldn't even see what I was doing. Okay, so Cav P streams poorly as usual. So what I was thinking was something like oh, it's hard. It's something like this. And there's going to be a roll cake that I'm going to sit down on there. It's going to be way too big. So I'm going to have to cut it down a little bit, but by how much will probably depend on how the roll cake goes. As an Australian, what are your thoughts on the movie Wolf Creek? I've never watched it. I'm too scared to watch it. I'm really iffy about like sexual violence and all that, and I heard this film had a bunch of it, so I kind of avoided it like the plague. I'm gonna open this roll cake now. Okay, so I've got my little roll cake, and I plop it down here. Look at that. Can you give it a little slice? There we go. It's not really the same color or the same cake or anything, but whatever. I know they released a TV series. I don't know if that's quite as leery, but yeah, it's not my normal cup of tea, to put it lightly. Is this too long a train? I feel like it's too long a train. I think I need to cut it a little bit. Because at the moment it doesn't quite look like a train. It really does feel like a sort of cake surgery, you know? It's very exciting in some ways. Just how to make the perfect proportions for a cake, for a train cake. Like and it needs to be like a chunky train cake too. And I need to sort of not make it fall apart, which is what I've been doing. Alright, so Maybe we'll cut it a little bit further down and see what happens. And again, if I mess up, I can just stitch it back together with the, whatchamacallit, icing. I mean, yeah, icing. They turn an unsavory, realistic type of meat way too often into a Jason Voorhees type. Right, right. Wait, John Jarrett got charged for being a sex pest IRL? Oh, geez. Is that the person who plays the sex pest in Wolf Creek? Okay, let's have a look. Put it outside here. So I've got the beginnings of a locomotive, it seems. I feel like this should do us. Do the proportions on that look okay? I feel like they'll do us. Yeah. Nice. Okie dokie. So we're gonna have a little bit of extra cake, which I'm not complaining about. We just need to, when we get the icing, make sure that everything is all put together. Okay, so this is good. We've got the bare bones of our train cake. Maybe I'll have a little, given that I know we're not going to be eating this cake. If it turns out we need that bit later, I'm going to be really grumpy. But then I will have brought it onto myself. Alright, after I've eaten this bit, and you can just admire the cake for a little bit as it looks now, which is like a lump of cake, then we'll work on the icing. From a different point of view, it looks like a cargo truck. A delicious cargo truck. Hold on. Okay. So now it's icing time. You remember this, right? You know, long-time viewers will remember this terrifying contraption that I think I know how to use now. And let's have a look at the instructions. To make the frosting, beat the butter in a medium bowl with an electric mixer. Do you see that? With an electric mixer, that's no good. For 3 to 5 minutes or until butter is pale and creamy. Let's read it together. Reduce speed to... Wait. I've lost my place. Reduce speed to medium. Gradually add chocolate buttercream mix, which is not chocolate buttercream mix. It's going to be the white one. 1 tablespoon at a time. Continue mixing until well combined. Wait, when do you put the milk? Oh, add milk and beat on high for a further minute. Okay, cool. We can do that. Remember to lick the icing off camera. Oh, that was... Sean, mean Sean still brings that up. Can you see what I'm doing here? Just plopping in the butter. Bit by bit, step by step, day by... I never watched that show. I don't really know the song either, which I suppose is probably apparent. Step by step, day by day. I think that's how it goes. Alright, so let's put this down. There we go. And then we're just gonna beat it on low speed for 30 seconds. Okay, what is low speed? Is that, no, that's a timer. Okay, is that low speed? I have no idea. I'm super sad I missed Nice Sean's Galaxy Quest movie night. Oh, it was so fun. That's way too low. Oh, it's min as in minimum. Why is it shaking like that? It shouldn't be shaking like that. Oh, wow. There is a nice Sean, yes. Member of my Discord server, who sometimes does film screenings on my Discord server and has just recently started up his own Discord server for his own style of movie nights. And the inaugural one was Galaxy Quest last night. Lots of fun. Yeah, I had a long day at work and I still had some work to do, so it was really, really good to just have that on. And then once I got too exhausted, I had Stardew Valley on while I was watching. Very, very entertaining. Imagine if VR becomes mainstream and we could do film screenings that way? Huh. That is a lovely looking butter. It's organic butter, don't you know? Alright, so that's about 30 seconds, and on medium speed for 2 minutes. Is that medium speed? Do not eat butter as it contains raw eggs. Oh wait, no, do not eat batter. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong part. Oh wait, no! I was reading the thing for the cake mix again. In a medium bowl, an electric mixer on high speed for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I've been doing it wrong. Batter, butter, same thing. Yeah, that's what got me confused. All right, so let's just leave it for a little bit and have a little walk around my house. Maybe I can show you some of the cool stuff we got in here. Anything worth showing that doesn't dox me too much? Showed everyone everything. Oh, this is when I was in the newspaper when I was like 6 years old. For like well, I mean, when I say newspaper, I mean primary school newspaper. There we go. Don't I look amazing? Just doing like an Indian dance presentation for the class. Nothing else I can think of. Closed the stream by accident, got an ad for an Amazon Prime show making light of the pandemic? Ooh. Okay, let's see how our butter. Oh, that does look nice, doesn't it? Okay, we'll just let that go for another few minutes. And oh, let me show you. Oh, geez, I just saw like the bottle of this. This is a little bit leery, don't you think? I was gonna say, this is like some beer, some vintage fermented beer that is famous it's famous in the States for being Belgian. It's like a Belgian beer. Yeah, it's probably one of the nicer beers. Like, I've only ever had the only nice beers I've ever had have been in Belgium, and I hate beer. Oh, Diddy Doom! Welcome! Thank you so much for the raid. We're just making a cake. Let me show you. So there's this Australian cake book from like the 90s that basically every working class and middle class housewife had back in the day, and this is a cake that I'm making for my dad for his birthday. Thank you for giving that quote to the new Raiders Den, Viney. Thanks so much for sharing your community, Denny Von Doom. I mean, it's a pandemic, so we're not going to be able to so you're looking, oh, it was so bright and sunny, we had to stop by and say hi. That's very, very kind. But yeah, because we don't have all the ingredients because it's a pandemic, we're unable to get everything. Rather than this whole cake here, I think it's probably just going to be that. It's going to be a very sad locomotive. And we had the wrong proportions for the cake, so at the moment it looks like this. To give you a better idea of what it's gonna look like, wait, oh no, I can't remember how I think, wait, like that? It's gonna, no! Hold on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna not drop the cake on the floor, because that would be terrible. more or less the Locomotive cake is gonna look like that. So I'm gonna take it back down before it falls down, because it will. It's not very stable. A lot of things have gone wrong in this stream so far, including me rupturing the eardrums of the audience, but the icing's looking good. Alright, so let's turn that down. Have a look-see at the icing. Yeah, that looks decent. Cool. So what did it say next on the box? Where did I put the box? Why did I move the box? Why would I do that? Okay, alright, so the box says continue, beat butter, oh, reduce speed to medium, gradually add chocolate buttercream mix, 1 tablespoon at a time, continue mixing until well combined. And we're not putting in the chocolate buttercream mix, we are putting in some other stuff. Leftover icing from previous cakes I've made, because normally I make the icing from scratch rather than using a mix, but as a result I've got a bunch of leftover mixes that I want to get rid of, because this is a pandemic and we gotta, you know, waste not, want not, that sort of thing. So I've got 2 packets of icing mix I wanna deal with here. Maybe I'm gonna need some scissors for this. I'll be back in a sec. I'm trying to avoid cake eating while I get my workout together, but I can live vicariously through you. Yeah. Oh god. It's difficult if you're a cake lover in these times, because we're just a lot less active. I don't know what it's like where you live, but in Melbourne we're not allowed to leave to go more than 5 kilometers away from our house, because we're taking quite a hard edge to this whole thing. Let me move it back to the cake so you can see what we're doing. Protein cake, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Actually, my mother found this recipe of cookies which have no sugar in them and are healthy. Like, they're sweetened by, I think, dates, and they're made mostly with oats as well. I'll just put the speed up a little bit more. There we go. Let me know if this is too loud. Like, God knows I've already destroyed your eardrums enough this stream. Looking a little dry, isn't it? I guess that's why you're meant to add it just a little bit at a time, huh? And also all the butter is like going up the side, so I might need to fix that. Hold on. Alright. What are we gonna do? Back to me. Look at the cake. And back to me. So I need some kind of a spatula. A cake-oriented spatula and not a rice-related spatula. Which I don't think we have, because like my family is very into healthy eating, so we don't tend to have these things around. Ah, well, I'll just use the rice cooker one. Not really ideal. Okay. Yeah, this is a great mixer. This is my parents' mixer, because I'm stranded in Melbourne at my parents' right now, and have been for the last 6 months. I came down for a week, and then lockdown happened, and now I can't leave the country again. So here I am. But on the bright side, I get to access my mother's mixer. I wish they limited travel in the US. Yeah, honestly, I much prefer this way. Like, it's lockdown is hard, but honestly, I think if you're not doing strict lockdown, then, you know, you're just asking for a world of trouble later on. Get off! God damn, stop it. Yeah, definitely using a rice thingy was a bad idea. Sorry that you can't see much. I'm just struggling a lot. Okay, I'm gonna get a fork. Hold on. I lied. I got a knife instead. Yeah, like all the butter is just sticking on that thing. This was a terrible idea. Yet another list in the another to add to the list of the horrible mistakes that have happened on this stream. Whoa. Oh, flu season is approaching. Oh yeah, it is great accessing my mother's cooking after so long. My mother's an incredible cook. I've published some of her recipes on YouTube. Like, we've been doing a sort of cooking series of her making curries and things, which has been really fun. But because I started studying, I've had to sort of cut down on my video making. In Ontario, it's getting bad again. I was planning to visit my parents, but it's not safe right now. Yeah, totally make one of my mother's curries. She'd be so happy. Like, if you post the results in the Discord, then she'll be overjoyed. Yeah, winter's gonna make it rough. Although, on the other hand, you know, in winter you're more likely to stay inside anyway. So I think in some ways it's a little bit easier to justify not going anywhere. But that's just my opinion, I think. That's looking good. Just a little bit at a time, even though like all of it is just congregating inside the mixer thingy itself. So I might put it up higher, so we'll get like a, what's it called? When like when you're sort of spun around really quickly, so you end up splattering on the edge. That effect. That's what I'm going for here. Is there anything specific to Fiji Indian cuisine that you wouldn't find in other diaspora cooking? Well, honestly, I've never had my mother's style curries. Like, I don't really like going to Indian restaurants because the food is very, very different from... And it's not just a sort of, you know, the Italians are not like Mama used to make. That was probably bad. I apologize. But, you know, like it's literally different food. I'm trying to figure out like which part of India it might come from. Oh, you gotta go, Postradamus. Oh, that's a shame. Well, thank you for joining us anyway. Yeah, the curries that my mother makes anyway tend to be quite dry compared with Indian curries, which tend to be like various ingredients in different kinds of soup, or, you know, like sauces or gravy. I don't know what the English term for it is. Yeah, whereas with my mother's cooking, it tends to be like, you're half Sicilian, you're giving me a pass, oh, thank you so much. Yeah, with my mother's cooking, it tends to be a little bit more, you get ingredients and they're mixed with spices, not so much sauce. Like, there is some kind of a, you know, liquid component to it, but it's not a soup that your food is resting in, if that makes sense. I really need to stop, you know, picking on Italians. Like, it was maybe a little bit more acceptable when I was in a relationship with an Italian person, because it was a fun way to annoy them. But now that that's no longer the case, I should probably give it a rest, you know? It's not inappropriate. Especially given that, you know, Italian people weren't really in the Anglo-speaking world. They weren't really considered to be white, you know, and hence acceptable immigrants for many years. I saw the cooking videos you made with your mother. I love those, but I found it very strange to see your mother's curry being so dry. Yeah, right? Yeah, so that's something that I've noticed as well when traveling. It's been really difficult, you know, like when I've lived abroad, which happens a lot. You know, sometimes you just want to try home-style cooking, but you can't really access it. And part of the reason why I'm doing the cooking show is because I just want those recipes to be preserved, because I don't think you're going to find them in any cookbook, because they're Fiji Indian, And I think Fiji Indian culture and language and just everything tends to be very downplayed as not being real, you know, like being fake Indian or inferior. Even by, you know, Fiji Indian diaspora, there tends to be a lot of downplaying of the significance of the culture because, oh, you know, if you want to learn Hindi, you should learn proper Hindi, not Fiji Hindi, and if you want to learn dance, it should be from a teacher in India, you know, not someone from Fiji. So I think it's good. I really like the idea of putting a you know, a little footprint of not just Indian cooking, but Fiji Indian cooking. That sort of specificity that you don't often see. Icing's looking good. Hopefully, I think it'll be enough for our purposes. I'll just need to, once I've designed the cake. Oh, has your mum ever used taro cassava? You know, one thing that really excited me about living in Taiwan was that they use taro as well, quite a lot. They use it in different ways. Like they have very, they use it to sweeten things. You can get like taro milk, which is like you know, like taro juice basically, but sweetened and mixed with milk, like a smoothie. I always think of it being more of a savory thing, like as a root vegetable that you will have to mix with curries or other foods. But like in Taiwan, it's used a lot as a kind of sweet. And it was just so cool to see all, like, the thing that I loved about Taiwan is that it's very, like, you know, you think of it as being a part of China. I mean, obviously that's debatable, and it's a source of much contention, but like it's easy to dismiss it as sort of being, you know, just like Southeast Asia, but there's definitely an element of islander culture in there as well. I mean, it is an island, and I think a lot about the culture is very islander-like as well. I felt a lot of affinity with Taiwanese people as someone who's, you know, from a part Fijian background. And that was not something I was expecting, but it was something I thought was just really lovely. Cav is banned from BlizzCon now. Teehee. Oh yeah, bubble tea is really big in Australia too. Like, yeah, and Taiwanese food got... The thing is, if anything goes rogue anywhere in the world, it will go rogue in Melbourne, and it will just stick around, which I love about Melbourne. That must be such a complicated dynamic, having two different marginalized communities, one indigenous and the other forced diaspora, that is still caught in a systemic form of racism inherited from colonialism. Yeah, it is really interesting. Like, there's so much conflict that's happening, like intra-communal conflict that's happening. When the slightly more leftist government was voted in for the first time with a majority government a few years ago, promises were made to the indigenous Taiwanese community to listen to their needs. But when I was living in Taiwan, there were people who were protesting, like they were basically occupying one of the parks as a sort of form of peaceful protest about the fact that the Prime Minister had yet to sort of act on her promises. And also, what else? There's like, is it February? It's February the something. There's a very special day in Taiwan, which I thought was absolutely fascinating, where, oh God, I feel bad that I don't, was it February 8th? If you do a Google search for February, like important date February Taiwan or something, you'll probably come up with it. But it's a huge day of protest because it's like the, I mean, I'll talk about this more, I think. Oh wait, I need to add milk. I'll talk about it more during my stream that I do of Detention, the Taiwanese horror game about the, what was it called? The White Terror period of Taiwan. But yeah, there was a massacre that kind of started a lot of the oppression off of protesters by the government. And there's like a certain day in February every year which sort of commemorates that massacre. And on that day, if you go to this particular park, there's a lot of protests, but particularly from indigenous Taiwanese people, which is fascinating. It's the first time that I saw like riot gear and that sort of thing like up close. Yeah, detention. I'm sort of building up the courage to stream it, but I'm really fascinated by the White Terror period in Taiwan, especially because of the fact that the Western world kind of turned the other cheek. It was really eye-opening to learn about it in Taiwan, because I guess a lot of people in Taiwan still don't really talk about it, let alone, you know, share that with people in the West, who were very shitty about the whole thing. Yeah, they made another game. I'm really fascinated by their whole journey. I wonder if there's some way, like, I'd love to do some kind of awareness-raising campaign at some point for it. Like, I know it's not really my place as someone who's not of Taiwanese descent, and particularly not of indigenous Taiwanese descent, but it's a struggle that I think that people in the West should know more about, because, you know, we are complicit in what happened because of the fact that we deliberately, like, you know, people understood what was happening, but chose to turn the other cheek. It was a huge betrayal that I think we need to, you know, and for the purpose of understanding history and our place in it, I think it's something that we can't just ignore. So I'd love to do something which brings that to our attention, you know, which sort of, I guess, promotes awareness raising of it. No, the West was shitty about something. It's the same thing with the mass killings of communists and colonization of West Papua by Indonesia. The West was willing to look away because it personally benefited our own interests. Yeah, I think Australia in particular has a lot to answer for in that regard. That's the kind of thing, like, I love doing fundraising and charities and things, but I feel like a lot of times the way that we approach charity as Western people tends to focus on non-intersectional struggles, and I really want to emphasize in the kind of fundraising that I do that, you know, not only does the world exist outside of us, but that there are intersectional ways that you can look at things. Like, for example, my Nopathon last year, the charity was Micro Rainbow, which is an organization which provides support to queer LGBTQI plus refugees and asylum seekers, which, you know, you would think, oh, why not just do a charity, you know, raising money for a refugee organization? I mean, I could do that, but the fact is that, you know, refugees, LGBTQI plus refugees, have their own sort of struggles to deal with inside their own community, on top of the what it is that they're fleeing from. And in many cases, they're fleeing specifically because of the fact that they are from such, you know, like a marginalized queer identity. And it's not that people don't know these things. I think it's just a matter of we don't really think about it so much. You know, we think, well, we're donating towards a queer cause. So why do we need to focus on refugees? Which is not necessarily something that I can sort of criticize people for, because we're not really socialized to understand the importance of intersectionality when it comes to these sorts of things, and like the different ways that people are affected by the same sort of issues, like the ways that queer refugees suffer discrimination and all that. So I'm just gonna make this a little bit less wobbly. Is different to, you know, non-queer refugees. There's very different issues to be looking at within the whole refugee thing. Yeah. Um, and I feel like a big part of doing a charity event is to promote awareness of the issue that you're talking, that you're fundraising for. Like if you're fundraising for a Black Lives Matter related charity, for example, why not do help out the Okra project, which is specifically geared towards helping Black trans people to get food, nutritious food, because they have such a, I guess, disproportionately large rate of homelessness and starvation, things like that. So it's like it's all going towards the same cause. Like it's all part of Black Lives Matter. The fact is that like you know Black trans people tend to, because of the intersecting sort of transness and blackness and whatever, um there's like other issues that need to be taken into account. It's yeah, I feel like we have a responsibility as people who do charity things to like make sure that the people go away from this event not just feeling great, yay, I donated to charity, but also feel like, wow, I feel like I'm in a better position to be able to work in these spaces, to be able to, take this knowledge or take this cause with me and then, promote it or, help make things better. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but like I have very strong feelings about charity and how different ways to use it. Not that there's a right or wrong way to do charity. Like generally speaking, it's all for a good cause. But I feel like you can do more with your charity raising than just raising money and then dumping money to something and then feeling good about yourself for doing a charity. Like not to criticize anyone who doesn't think about that, but I feel like there's a lot of potential to be doing more, and I'd love to see more of that around. Oh, that's so interesting. Quite a few of the refugees in Manus and Nauru are gay men that explicitly left their homes out of fear for their own safety. Wow. I didn't know that. I did know that there were a large degree of men on Manus and Nauru, but I didn't know that. I have so many people in my country claiming that Taiwan and China are basically the same, and I always try to argue against it. Oh, yeah. You definitely don't want to say that in Taiwan. Okay, so we've got some going back to. I mean, we obviously we can continue this discussion because I'm very passionate about it. But going back to the cake, we have to decide at this point what color. Okay, I'm gonna move away, like genuinely move away from the camera and lick this knife because it looks yummy. Hold on. Yes, I was correct. That was good icing. Oh, right, that was a cake. Yeah, I know, right? LGBT rights are restricted in Papua New Guinea. Oh, I mean, so many countries they're restricted. But yeah, countries that are even ostensibly, have the same values as Australia or whatever, can still be quite nasty. Hey there, Dinah Jack! How you going? Lovely to see you here on the bright and early morning, as I understand it would be in Sweden. We are making this cake from the same cookbook, the same cake book from the 90s, for my dad for his birthday. Although, because it's a pandemic, we do not have that much cake mix, so I think we're just going to be sticking with the Locomotive here at the front. This is what it looks like so far, so you haven't missed that much. All right, so how about you all help me here? Wait, can you see me? Why is it looking... Okay, sorry. We have yellow cake mix, food coloring. We have red coloring made out of crushed beetle's wings, as tends to happen. I was really grossed out when I found that out. And we have blue food coloring. Now the question is, obviously we can mix these colors together. We're not stuck with the primaries here, but what color should this locomotive be? And keep in mind that the cake that we have to use to make it from is chocolate. So I don't know if that's gonna make a difference. You know, what do you think would be a nice combination of colors? We've got yellow, red, and blue, and all the colors in between. Well, I mean, no, let's just stick with things like purple or green or orange or whatever. But like, what are you thinking? Shall we get a poll up, maybe? And I don't think I can see polls with Twitch online. I mean, yeah, Twitch on my phone. So just let me know what the answer is. Or if anyone just has any preferences, just do a little vote. Do a little vote while I open up the packets of other things. Polish? Chinchilla! Oh, I love chinchillas. Oh, I almost dropped all the Smarties. I'm gonna have one now. I don't know what I'm polling on. That's okay. I was just thinking what the color would be. We have yellow, we've got, we have blue, we've got red. So we could technically make green, purple, orange, pink. You know, we got options here. I think the yellow can get dirty looking if one isn't careful when handling, so I vote for a darker color. Which Smarties are better? Also USA, Australian. I mean, USA Smarties aren't the same thing. They're like fizzy things. What do we call those? Fizz bits or something. Like, yeah, Australian Smarties or I think Canadian Smarties are the same as Australian, right? I ran out of options, so no orange. Sorry, orange fans. That's alright. It's not a very good color. Oh, I'm so cheeky. Hey, have you noticed that besides the jump scares that I have inflicted on you by not knowing how to use my phone stand, I haven't been that scared during this stream. I've not jumped at anything. So maybe this is the beginning of a bolder, braver Cav. Intriguing. I wonder. Oh, and I haven't licked the thing. Okay, well, waiting for the thing to come up, like the poll to be answered. I'm gonna lick the thing off camera. Genuinely off camera. Where is it? Here. So turn the power off. That was the power off, right? There we go. Cav dabs on their fears. Okay, so this is gonna be all clean in a minute, but I'm going off camera. Oh, why don't we have a focus on the cake book? You vote for Saints Row Purple. Okay, there we go. And there's like a really creepy gingerbread man sort of peeping out from behind the cage, the thing. I like that. Nom 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 nom. So is purple winning? I'll see you later, Blake Spake. Thanks for tuning in. You know what, maybe, is it possible for me to mute myself so I can... Okay, I'm muting my microphone now because I'm enjoying this. Oh my god, really? It says I muted myself. I'm enjoying my... It probably got all my slobbery noises. I'm so sad. I clicked on mute microphone and it said I was muted. I was. I hate my life. Maybe I should just walk away. I just wanted to read the chat. Okay. Oh! All licked. So you got all my slobbery noises. So do we have a final vote for the old, you know, vote? Have we decided on blue? Am I close to the end? Okay, that's exciting. I set it to 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, it was probably a bit too long for 22 viewers. It's okay. What I'll do is, while waiting, maybe I will, maybe now I should set up the old cake on the railroad tracks. Blue is the winner? Nice, okay. Whoops. Wait, wait. Go down! No! Oh. What time is it? In Melbourne, it is 3:12. So my tutorial has just started and I did not give a message to my tutor in advance to let her know that I would be late. I am full of shame and I should be ashamed. Okay. So there's apparently something that I'm meant to do where I like make a little chimney sort of thing. And it says that I should shape it out of like using like a cookie cutter, but like I can just take off a layer. I don't see what the big deal is. Okay. Can you see that? Not so well. Okay, so we'll get to this when we have the icing. I still feel like this is a little bit too big. So what I might do is I'll just chop off the end to make it balance a little bit better. And maybe that'll do it. Okay, it looks a lot more stable now. That's good. Yeah, it's quite nice. Thomas the Cake and Jen and Friends. I always thought those were the lyrics. I thought it had lyrics, and the lyrics were Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. God, that was a weird kid. Okay, so here's the icing that we've got. And I want it to be like a deep blue, so I'm gonna add a few drops. Let me show you. Oi! I think we've probably used this our entire lives. Yeah, it's not coming out. That's not a good sign. I mean, we've got more blue elsewhere, but okay. So wooden spoon. No, I really need a cake spatula. Where's it gone? We genuinely had one. Alright, I'm gonna look for a spatula in the other room. I'll be back in a little bit. So I'll just leave you to... Wait, no, what am I doing? I'll leave you to look at the cake. in all of its glory as it sits there, all brown. Okay, I think I solved 2 mysteries. Oh, good night, Robot Ghost! Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you were able to see. Go back to the wall. So I think I solved the mystery, and the mystery is that the reason why I've had to use a rice cooker spatula to stir this so far is because the spatula has been used by the rice cooker. I also found this. But it's kind of dusty and old and a little bit gross, and it'd be a little bit uncanny valley, I think, but like a bit weird if I have a train candle on a train cake. Like, that just seems like it's a clash of worlds that we don't want to happen. So, oh, what should I do? I guess I just have to use this rice thing, even though it all sticks to the thing. Okay, so let me unsolved mysteries with Cav. Okay, here we go. So, actually, no, this is not working with just one hand. Okay. Let's, god damn, the things I have to do. Sorry, I should, like, the thing is, I would mute my microphone, but apparently that feature does not work. Ugh. Okay. Wait. Okay, now you can see what I see. Do you see what I see? Yes, you do, because I can see that you do. Alright, now it is mixing time. Make sure we get a nice blue icing going on here. Nice deep blue. Well, not deep blue, but, you know, blue enough. Does the job. It's quite a nice blue, but I feel like it could be darker. I think a darker blue will be better with this cake. So I might get out more blue. Hold on. Silly tripod. How blue can we go? Get a little bit more here. Plop that in there. That's probably way too much. We'll find out, I suppose. Okay, it's a little bit darker. Oh, it's so difficult to stir by hand. God, my back. You're killing me. Oh no, poor thing. DXVIE at 4 panicking here. This is probably as deep as we're gonna get it, I think. Yeah, the cake's for my dad's birthday, which is today. And he's a big fan of trains. He's already received this cake train several times in his lifetime. And this is probably going to be the worst version of it yet. But, you know, it was made by his child this time and not his wife. Why am I staring at blue Play-Doh? Oh, you celebrated your dad's birthday this Sunday. Happy birthday to your dad. Oops. Almost knocked over the cake. Oh, a little bit of cake fell down there. Alright, so how can I stage this here so the cord's not... I'm going to have to take the cord out for charging. Alright, I'm going to move this to the left because I'm left-handed. Oh. Okay, so the next step is to smother this thing with icing. Yeah, although it's not really like, I feel like maybe this could be cut a little bit thinner. I feel like I'm getting a little bit unnecessarily perfectionist about this now. Yeah, I'll just move this a little bit into the middle here. There we go. And I should probably cut the back off this as well because it's kind of sticking out. Even though it's going to make it more difficult to put the icing on. It'll be delicious to eat. God, I love the tops of cakes. Gonna have a little bit of that now. There's crumbs everywhere. There's news in Argentina? What's happening? What's happening in Argentina? I wanted to say what's happened in Argentina in Spanish, but for some reason what's been happening lately is that Spanish and Indonesian pronunciation is very similar. And I'm currently studying Indonesian. So now whenever I go to speak Spanish, Indonesian comes out. It's really embarrassing. I celebrated your dad's birthday this Saturday. I made a car cake because he likes oh, his niece. His niece loves cars. She made a something cake, but with little cars in it. Sorry, like my chat for some reason is cutting off like right on the right hand side, so I can't see the like the rightmost letter. How am I going to spread this? Am I going to spread it with a knife? Probably. Where's butter knife? Look at that, smooth. One congressperson in the national broadcast of a zoo meeting did a thing. Oh, that'd be right. You know, it's technically illegal to catcall in Argentina, which is a nice start to recognizing that catcalling is a big issue that should be taken seriously. But, good luck enforcing it, you know? Especially if it gets decided that the burden of proof is on the reporter. Your phone has Swedish autocorrect on? This is the calming part of cake making. While I'm here, I'm gonna get the glue ready as twere. There. Gonna move this out of the way too. Hey there, Ashley Marie. How are you going? I don't know why some parts of the chat are censored. Just like one letter in each line is not showing on my phone. It's really annoying. So I'm just having to guess at what half of you are saying. So if I misinterpret something you're saying, it's not just my poor comprehension, although that's generally an element of it. There's also an element of Twitch's fault, you know. Be easy on me. Oh, you got a deleted link? Seriously? I haven't changed any auto mod stuff to deal with links. That's a pain. Sorry about that. It's never been an issue before. I mean, I was doing some fiddling around with mods. Like with mod stuff, but it wasn't related to links at all. Maybe I accidentally turned something on, or something automatically turned on, or something. Very annoying. It is actually kind of looking like Thomas the Tank Engine, given that it's blue. I'm almost regretting making it blue for that reason. Yeah, glad you like the frosting, Denny. Yeah, it turned out really well. This is actually packet frosting. I normally make my own, but I had a bunch of leftover ones from when I made my own. So I thought I'd use them up. Sure, my dad will appreciate the fact that I didn't go all out. Poor thing. Don't tell him I also got him a block of his favorite chocolate. But he's not gonna know that until dessert. The annoying thing about the knife is, depending on the side you use, sometimes you get these annoying lines. It's a teeny bit laggy. Oh, sorry to hear that. I wonder if it's Twitch, or whether it's because of the mod settings I was fiddling around with, or what. I need to look into it. Alright, so I'll move you out of the way for the time being. We're going to get back to you later. I hope this is calming for you. Maybe I should turn, I'm going to turn it to make it easier for me to put on. Probably really loud, sorry about that. I'm going to get rid of the knives. As long as nothing falls onto the floor, there's nothing lost. Ooh, crumbs. Oh, no. My crumbs now. I'm basically just going to make sure it's all covered, and then I'm going to make it look nicer afterwards, so don't worry if you're thinking, geez, that is a really shitty icing job. It's okay. It's alright. Wouldn't be a Cav stream if I wasn't doing something poorly, you know? Does Amazon have any good shows? Oh, they, yes. At least in Australia, they have The Farewell, which is a fantastic film about Chinese diaspora. Really funny story. I think it's accessible for everyone. But what I really loved about it, I watched it at a film festival, and I felt that the themes resonated really well with probably any kind of diaspora. Like, even me from a non-Chinese background, I was sort of like, oh gosh, this is my family, you know? The premise is that if you're interested, um, a the grandmother of a family in China. Well, the family live across like Japan and the U.S. And the grandmother is diagnosed. Well, she has cancer, but it was custom, at least in that family, to not tell the person that they've got terminal cancer, because the idea is that, you know, like if you find out you have cancer, then that's your life gone. Whereas if you don't know, you'll continue to live your life happily. And this is something that I've heard about in Japanese culture as well. So it's not unique to Chinese families. Um, so yeah, they know that their grandmother is going to die, but I hope no one's like, oh, no spoilers. um, but anyway, so they decided that they're not going to tell her. What they're going to do instead is they're going to stage a wedding. So one of the kids, like the one who lives in Japan, is going to, you know, pretend to get married to his friend, his Japanese friend. And so that's like an excuse for all the families to have a sort of family reunion in China at the last minute. So it's funny because, you know, a wedding's a really happy occasion. Obviously, everyone is sad because they're like, this is the last time I'm going to see my grandmother or my mother. But it brings together all these things. Like, obviously, some of the kids are like, why do we have to do this? Why can't we just be honest? You know, like they've been raised in the West. This is not something they're happy with. And even the son in the US, whose mother is dying, he seems to have like reservations about it as well, but he goes along with it because it's the family, like it's the family's decision. You respect what the family wants. And so, oh, it's so good and it's so funny. Oh my goodness. Highly recommended film. The one about the Nazi hunters, I can't remember what that's called. I enjoyed that one. I feel like, especially early on, they show you a lot of scenes of violence against Jewish people, which I think they didn't need to, you know, they could have told the same story without showing us, oh, this is why they're doing what they're doing, you know, because all this bad stuff happened to Jewish people. Yes, like, you can talk about it. You don't need to show us Jewish, you know, Jewish trauma in order to make us sort of like justify their thing. But it does do some really, really, really interesting commentary towards the end about racism in the US and how it's like the idea that it's technically government sanctioned systemic racism, which is something that I do believe in. Like, I mean, not in terms of it being a big conspiracy, but just that it's in the government's best interest to keep these racist systems going. So, you know, it leads to a lot of oversights. But yeah, that's a good show if you can get past the sort of gratuitous violence at the beginning towards Jewish people. Which, oof, it is kind of rough and unnecessary, in my opinion. I couldn't really get into American Gods because there was too much like nudity in it, which made me uncomfortable. Which is not to say that, you know, it's bad nudity, but it's just me personally. I get a little bit irky. Not really a fan of the old sexual content personally, so that's more of a personal statement rather than a judgment on the show itself. But the other one, not American Gods, the other one, what was it? The one with Martin Sheen and the other guy? That one's quite charming. If you mean hundreds, I saw a Holocaust organization heavily criticize it for exaggerating elements of the concentration camps. Yeah, yeah, like I would, I mean, I'm not Jewish, so I'm not really in a good place to be, speaking about whether it's justified or not, but I didn't feel like I needed I needed to see Jewish suffering in order to believe it, you know. But I do feel like the direction that they take it after they've established that Jewish people have had atrocities committed against them, I feel like that was something that was very good and something that was didn't make all that other stuff worth it necessarily, but it made it a show that I enjoyed in the end. The one with Martin Sheen, oh, Mass Effect 2. Yeah, Good Omens. It's charming. It's cute. I really like the way it's narrated and the little relationship between the two main characters. I thought it was, it's not necessarily saying anything, but it's one of those shows where you can enjoy despite the fact that it's not saying anything. You don't feel like, what? Why isn't it? Where's the big statement about the world? It's like, no, this is just an enjoyable little film that, does a little bit of good and evil stuff, but nothing too heavy. Another good show on there's a documentary about, what's his name? The Dolomite guy. Jeez, I'm making a video about him. I feel like such an ass now. Rudy Ray Moore. There's a documentary about him and his films, which is worth watching. And there's also, what else? There was something else that I thought was very good. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Evelyn Tremble 67. Like, I mean, that makes perfect sense that the fact that you don't really need to exaggerate the atrocities of the Holocaust because they were awful, We don't need to be given like a fake version because it's just going to encourage people to say, well, the whole thing's unbelievable. Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, the movie about him is what I'm making the video about. I'm comparing it with The Disaster Artist. I really, really loved Dolomite Is My Name so much. It makes me so happy. I screened it in my Discord, one of our movie nights, to do a little bit of extra research about it and get some other perspectives. And it seemed like everyone had a really good time watching it. Dang, there's some other good stuff in there too. There's the film by the maker of is it called The Nightingale? The one who did the Babadook. I can't remember her name, the director of that. And although I initially had some misgivings about the portrayal of sexual violence in there, because there is quite a lot, and I still personally did not benefit from that in any way, but I can appreciate sort of some of the efforts that were made to make it a little bit less exploitative than you'd think, and I liked the intersectional look at colonialism and how, like you can be a victim of colonization and still kind of be racist and horrible. And it does seem like and I think, William, you were saying that it consulted very heavily with the relevant indigenous communities, or at least one of the indigenous communities. And I think that's very apparent in the way that they did the film as well. Like there's an indigenous character in there who is incredibly powerful, is given a really, a really multifaceted character. He's not just like a one-track, one-sided character. There's a lot of depth to him, and he uses his own language as well, which I thought was fantastic. The Nightingale, yeah, yeah. Like it's got a lot of sexual violence in the beginning and towards the middle as well. So if that's something that makes you uncomfortable, that's something to go in being warned about. I didn't know. I was just like, oh, kind of, sounds kind of cool. Like an Irish woman and an indigenous guy join forces to get revenge. And of course, there's gonna be some kind of, oh, okay, well, the woman was sexually abused and I'm just tired of it, you know, like that's like the only thing that's acceptable to happen to women. Um, but yeah, it was kind of like trying to be realistic, and given that it's a historical thing, that's kind of what happened back then. So I can kind of forgive that. Um, yeah, but that was also like in the aftermath of watching it, although watching it made me intensely uncomfortable in parts, afterwards I had a little think about it, and I sort of came round to it by the end. Especially sort of, I think William made a really good point about the indigenous involvement, because that I was so sort of like triggered by all the sexual violence that I wasn't really looking at some of the other aspects, such as the involvement of indigenous communities. Um, but I think that's a very powerful and very good thing. And I'm glad I stuck around and watched the rest of it so I could sort of see that develop. God, there's others. Oh, yeah. What's that one about the people who end up in the other, like they die? It's about the afterlife, and they advertised it on Twitch an incredibly annoying amount of times to the point where I actually didn't want to watch it. I only watched it in the end because Shuklia was like, you should watch it, it's really good, and she sort of never let me down before with a recommendation. No, not The Good Place. It's not The Good Place. That's another reason why I was like, oh, it's just The Good Place. As it turns out, it wasn't, and it looks at capitalism in a really interesting way. Capitalism and gentrification in terms of the afterlife. Um, it's quite an interesting, scathing look at consumerism. As it turns out, you know, despite that horrible advertisement, which just didn't say anything about it. Upload. It was a terrible ad I saw. Yeah, yeah. The actual show, I would say give it a chance. Even if it's not for you, it's a lot better than what the why is this on an angle? It's a lot better than what the ad would have you believe, which is a bit of a failing, you know? That's not really what you want, is it? Why is this leaning? Why is my lovely locomotive leaning? I don't like it. It's threatening to topple. Oh, please. Please don't do that. Please be a good locomotive. Be the locomotive that could. Okay, I'm gonna push you forward a little bit. Maybe once I finish putting the icing on, I can, like, mold you. Alright. Did you ever see the 2012 film Hitchcock? I did see it, yeah. I can't remember much about it. I think maybe that means it was a bit forgettable. I seem to remember he had this, was it a good relationship with his wife? Like a sort of creative partnership? And I don't know whether that actually existed or not. I remember I had a lot of questions about it. Oh dear. Oh, the backside. It's all floppy. Oh no. Disaster cake. stay down, okay? Yeah, stay stuck. Sorry, just doing a little bit of cake doctoring here. So you can't really see what I'm doing, but believe me, it's important for the health of this cake, the survival of this cake. No. Oh, you little bastard. Okay, so maybe a little bit more. A little bit of patching up here. Look at that big finger thing. That's disgusting. Who would want to eat this cake? This sad, lopsided cake. I guess we'll just have to cut it before it has a chance to fall over. And then if it falls over, it's, you know, not my fault. It's just part of the cake cutting process. There we go. I'm gonna get cake on my jumper. I can feel it. The film was all about Psycho's production and kind of dabbles with his blonde obsession, how he treated Janet Leigh. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's too tall. Oh, the little engine that couldn't. Oh, it's so sad. Like, it looks sad. I'm gonna give it a little sad. No, I don't want to give it a sad face. I don't want to make it a depressing birthday cake. It really is lopsided. I'm so scared that if I just... I don't know how to fix this. I thought that the... Look at this! I guess I'll have to... Maybe I'll give it a little cut. Alright. I see. Good. It is cake doctor time. Sad panda locomotive cake. Wilted drink Thomas melting in the sun. Okay. Rather than fixing the tilt, I'm just gonna make it. Oh, and I get to eat this bit now. I feel like I've just lobotomized the cake. Oh, that's good icing. Yum, nom, nom, nom. Way too much icing though. In my attempt to make it look better, I've just applied icing on it, which is not the best tactic in terms of a nutritious cake. But all right, let's fix this. Hopefully it won't take too long, and then we can decorate it. Still like a little, there we go, fix that up. I'm not really going to worry much about the lines you can see on there. No, I'm not finished yet. Not finished? No. Sure. Okay, so that'll have to do. It's still a little bit wilted. So I'll just... Okay, so that'll do us for the initial thing. So now we're up to the decorating part, which is the most exciting part of all. And this is going to involve more licorice. Wow, we used that whole licorice wheel. I was thinking we're just going to have like a whole thing of licorice left over, but nope. Ooh, my hands are turning blue. Okay, so the idea is to make a sort of round face there and then a little thing at the front. So maybe I'll use these scissors. Slice this. Do this in half again. Didn't realize that Thomas the Tank Engine was made by an ultra-conservative. That's interesting. I wonder if there's any like race allegories in Thomas the Tank Engine. I think this is still a bit thick, so we'll make it a little bit thinner. Don't mind the noise, that's just some stuff being put in the fridge. I think I might actually have to actually cut this.
Oh, that color looks nice.
Okay, so using the scissors to cut down here. There. Ow! Sharp scissors. Sharp scissors bad. Yeah, decorating definitely is the most fun part. Okay, so I want to make a little face around here. Okay. There we go. Little thing at the front there. Oh, look at that. And then I want, is it a fender, the thing at the front? I don't know. I think I'm probably doing it wrong, but it's all right. Let's see if this works. No, that's too long. Okay. Anyone heard train facts? I don't know any train facts. My dad could tell you about, and he'd love to tell everyone about, you know, trains and their relationship with colonial history. But, you know, who's interested in that? My dad's an interesting one. He's thinking of publishing his already published articles sort of on an online blog format. So if anyone's interested, let me know. I said I'd make it for him. Okay, so we want a little thing on top. Oh, that's what they wanted the chocolate sprinkles for the outside of this thing. Oh, oh, what a silly I am. It's meant to be, okay. Well, you know what? I'll put this on backwards so it looks a little bit better. That's kind of nice the way it is, honestly. If you could just like shave that bit off, I might have a go. Yeah, I wanted chocolate sprinkles, and I was like, I don't see anywhere you need chocolate sprinkles. What is this? Trying to make me spend more money. Uh-oh, am I making it worse? Probably making it a little bit worse. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. And now I need that wire because, yeah, it definitely needed to be smaller because I'm gonna put a wire in there and then I'm gonna put a bunch of marshmallows on it. Isn't that cool? It's gonna be like the smoke. Trying to cut the wire again. Bear with me, please. Ooh, okay, yeah, we got it. Okay. All right, this is not a child-friendly cake by any standard. That's okay. Oh, tear here. Whoops. Okay, little marshmallow one. Do we need pink ones? Do we want like a mixture of... No, we want it to be realistic because Dad's an adult. So realistic marshmallows. Realistic marshmallow smoke. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to bend it a little bit more. Just to be a little bit more artistic. Oh, God. That'll do, right? Okay, and we need to get little eyes, little happy eyes. Oh, and I forgot the little smile in front of the thing. Like, this cake wants me to put eyes there and just a smile there. So that's like the eyes and that's the smile. But I don't know. Do I just want to put the whole face there? Because I don't want to draw attention to the fact that that's lopsided. So I might just... Oh, where are those googly eyes? Hold on. Excellent. Oh no, I got icing on his eye. Oh God. Now it is the train from hell. Look at that lopsided. It's a very grudge eye. Or is it the ring? I think it's the ring. It wouldn't be, you know, an actual real cake based on an actual thing if it didn't have googly eyes, right? It's my philosophy. This train is Cookie Monster energy. That is not a straight smile. Oh, that was fun. Okay, so now we need that. So we need like more licorice around the sides. This licorice has been really handy, you know? Did you ever have tiny lollipop trains in Melbourne that you'd ride in the parklands? I mean, I feel like that's the kind of thing that my dad would have made me do if they existed, but I don't have any memories of that, so perhaps not. I'm gonna put the wheels on first. This is gonna be a train with massive wheels. Yep, those wheels are way too big for this train, but it's okay. Oh, maybe I'll make them smaller. Yeah, I'm an artist. I'm an artist, and I will make my things serviceable. Okay, so I need another tray with which to cut more. I'll eat these too. Nom 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 nom. Licorice and ice think are surprisingly good together. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Oh, whoops. Did you see that? Yeah, you saw that. Damn. Remember that time when I said I'm an artist? This might not have been... No, I don't think... I think we're just gonna have to... I may be an artist, but I think I have my limits. How you cook some noodles? Yum, yum, yum. Ah, the page! You're right. Eek! Eek! Just wanted to taste some of the cake. It's not time. Oh, thank you, DXVIE84. That's so kind of you. Yeah, I think we're salvaging this. So we're nearly done. All we do after this is we add the Smarties to the spokes of the wheels and some other places. Let's have a look. Add the licorice. Gonna make a little thing down here. A bit of a line. Get that there. You can really tell the lopsidedness from this. Maybe I can use the licorice to like, yeah, I'll prop that up a little bit so. God. Poor sad train. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Got a little bit more of a... Oh no, it's falling apart! Oh no! Oh no, 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 no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. Oh jeez. Oh jeez, this could be the end, everyone. Okay, let me grab the knife here. It's cake doctor time. Okay, I think somehow I've salvaged it. We just need to make sure we eat this cake ASAP. Oh God, it's happening again. Oh there. I think we've done quite well considering the parameters with which we've had to produce this cake, don't you reckon? Like, despite everything, I'm pretty happy with no. No. This won't do. How can I fix this? Can I like put a wedge of cake underneath? wedge of cake. Underneath there. Just gonna squeeze a bit of cake there. See if that will. It's looking grim, everyone. Okay, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm wedging a piece of cake, like a small piece of cake behind to try to prop it up a bit. It's so sad. Such a sad birthday cake. This is stressful. This is amazing. Are the bees in the front to glue the two parts together? Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, yep. That is the next stage of Cake Doctor. Whoops. Okay, well, I had an ideal piece there, but I just broke it, which was very silly of me. And that can be like a window sort of thing. Okay, so I just need to... Cake Doctor! I need a theme song. We need a theme song, a Cake Doctor theme song. I should have a show called Cake Doctor, which is just me trying to salvage the wreckages of cakes that I've attempted to make. An eye on this cake at all time. It's got a mind of its own. Let's see if there's any more advice from the chat. Chuck it in the freezer for a bit. Yeah, that's a good point. It is very hot here in the kitchen under these heavy lights. It's probably got stage fright from being on stream for so long. My dad's going to be happy with the amount of icing on this cake, I think. Sorry, I'm going to get in the way of the camera for a little bit while I try to salvage this poor little cake. Now the bottom bit's starting to fall away. That's not what we want. I was kind of hoping that the wheels would also function as a kind of, you know, salvage. Now the whole thing just looks like, what even is that? What is this meant to be? Who am I kidding? I'm gonna eat that. That's a cake, right? That's what trains look like. They have a big mass in the middle of the locomotive. It's normal. You know, worst case scenario, I can just put toothpicks in there, but I really don't want to do that because it takes the immersion away from your ability to eat a cake without sustaining damage to your body. What is this? Sorry, you need to see it how I see it. let's clean this up a tiny little bit. Yeah, I definitely feel like if I did this again, I could do a better job knowing sort of like what I need to do, you know, the little intricate features of this cake. This one is just gonna have to be a, oh, I can't really clean that bit up, can I? And there's blue all over the wheels. I'll just have to make sure Dad doesn't see it all over it. And then that'll be a success. Oh, it was looking so good, everyone. Then it decided it wanted to cave over. Looks like a buggy. Oi! It's a train. Damn it. I guess that's where I put the candles, huh? And I'll put blue candles. We're definitely not putting candles up there, it'll collapse. Oh dear. I'll just put the one. Oh wait, no, there's like a stand, a candle. I forgot how candles work. Ah! Oh no! Cav opens a box of candles poorly. There. That'll do. Oh, I'll just clean up all the mess. Oh, I think that's all the mess. There's a bit of crumbs over there. Stop fixing it, put it in the freezer. All right. So, okay, I'm gonna show it to you. This is my poor cake. Oh, I forgot the Smarties. Oh no. Oh no, it's so complicated. Okay, so it needs two things on the side here. I'll just do a really quick job. Otherwise I bought the Smarties for no reason. And I'll put Smarties on the wheels. And then that'll be it. Then that'll be it. Then it will go straight in the fridge, I promise. Thank you everyone for joining me this stream. I've had a really nice time. Thanks for dealing with my screeching and the usual technical difficulties, often resulting in loud noises. If it falls over in the fridge, I'm gonna be really grumpy. But anyway. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. And let's compare it also with the cake. There. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that, I think. Look at that. And then me. I'll take a little screenshot with me and the cake. So, can you see? So you want to be able to see the cake, the recipe book. Yeah. Cheese. There we go. Okay, that'll do. Oh, thank you everyone for joining me on this emotional journey, as it turned out. I will see you. I mean, I'm meant to be streaming tonight. I may not do that given that I streamed for so long today. But yeah, I appreciate your patronage, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of drama. just as a good baking stream should be. My Halloween stream is going to be on October 30th, Saturday. The Saturday that is either the October the 30th or the 31st. But yeah, look forward to that. Thanks for all the conversation. It was a lot of fun. We talked about some very interesting things, some of my favorite topics to talk about. And yeah, see you next time. Ciao, ciao. Oh, am I sure to end stream? Yes. Oh, wait, no, I wanted to raid someone. Can I raid someone? Okay, stay tuned. Stay tuned when I finish the stream, because I don't know how to raid from within here. But yes, I will raid someone now. Ciao, ciao.